We don't accept every case, but the ones we accept, we have a 98% success rate.
98%. Nationwide, 14% of people have accepted claims.
Wow.
And then when they come to federal injury centers, it's 98%. And 4.5 hours driving. That's amazing. Each way.
Each way.
Yeah,
that's not typical. Obviously, she makes a point that she was willing to travel somewhere that we're competent in doing the paperwork that is complex and difficult, and we were able to win. And that was really rewarding. She's a sweet older lady, and it's wonderful to win that battle when she came in hopeless, in a lot of pain. And
welcome back to the Breaking OWCP Podcast. Join Chris and Jeannie as they bring you expert advice on federal workers' comp, guiding you step by step to get back to work the right way. Let's break down the barriers and get you the help you deserve.
Leo from Chicago. He is our Federal Injury Centers franchisee in Chicago, and he is absolutely killing it in a way that you wish that you had where you live. Dr. Arculeo, thanks for being on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us what's going on. Before we came on here, we were discussing, and I like to just get right into the most exciting thing for me, that you have a claims acceptance rate that I've never even heard of before, and we all have good claims acceptance rates. Tell people what's going on.
We have people coming in with new injuries, but many times we have people coming in who had attempted to get claims accepted and their doctors were unsuccessful. We had a lady in this morning. She came in and she drives 4.5 hours to get here. She's 80 years old.
Wow.
She hit her head on a mailbox and had a concussion syndrome that no one was able to help. So I'm very proud that we're able to help her clinically. But we got her case accepted after 2 or 3 other clinics or physicians failed to get that done, thanks to what I've gone through your training and our team has, and our expert case managers writing the reports that actually get the case accepted. So she drives down 4 hours and does now. She only comes once every 2 months, but she's super pleased that we were able to be successful. We don't accept every case, but the ones we accept, we have a 98% success rate.
98%. Nationwide, 14% of people have accepted claims.
Wow.
And then when they come to federal injury centers, it's 98%. And 4.5 hours driving. That's amazing.
Each way.
Yeah,
that's not typical. Obviously, she makes a point that she was willing to travel somewhere that we're competent in doing the paperwork that is complex and difficult, and we were able to win. And that was really rewarding. She's a sweet older lady, and it's wonderful to win that battle when she came in hopeless, in a lot of pain, and we're able to get her through it. So it was really rewarding. I just saw her today, so it's great to see her on her continued visits, just checking in.
Well, I have a series of things that I call Chrisisms. These are things that Chris says all the time. And one of those happens to be that the pain of the drive is far less painful than the pain of the denied claim. And so people need to know that, wow, I can't believe someone would drive that far. Imagine having your claim denied 3 times. And it just feels hopeless. And people say it to me all the time. This is just a hopeless thing.
Yep.
OWCP is hopeless. And then they come here.
One thing I want to bring up, the last time you were here, you did our first interview with a patient on a lady who came in also from out of town.
I remember her.
She had...
From out of state.
Out of state.
Yeah.
I don't want to specialize in doing that. We're just local now. We have a waiting list of people that want to come in, but because of our success rate. But you did the initial interview, and our senior case manager, Jen, and our medical team put our heads together, and it took around 6 to 8 months. And she had around 4 files that were this thick. It was unbelievable. And we got the case accepted. I really had my doubts, but it took 6-8 months of work and we got the case accepted. So thank you for your help on that. And thanks for teaching us how to win this game. It's a tough game.
What's amazing is that you never give up, ever. And you get denials. Yep. But you just go again.
Yep.
Right? Just keep taking swings at this thing.
When I said we have a 98% success rate, I don't mean through the first swing at it. You know?
But that's where we're different.
Yeah.
That we never give up.
No.
Ever. If this is a claim that we can accept, that means we should win. No matter what. And you're doing it. 98%.
Yep.
So talk about your staff here, because you're a chiropractor.
Yep.
And there's this false thing, this rumor that goes around, that you can't go to a chiropractor in OWCP. But that's not true, because chiropractors do a lot of stuff in OWCP, but you've got a really big staff. Talk about the different licensed people that you have here.
We have 2 medical doctors on staff. We have a nurse practitioner, and they process all the patients. So that is the needed staffing and licensing that you need in place to get a claims accepted and also get the treatment and be able to get the care. But on our treatment team, we do have 2 chiropractors, and we have occupational therapists, which are, it's like a high-level physical therapist.
Right.
That specializes in working with injured workers. So we've evolved to using occupational therapy and licensed occupational assistants, like you met Susie earlier.
Yeah.
And we have an internship program with Occupational Therapy School, which is really a lot of fun. They're so
amazing.
Dedicated. And a lot of physical therapists can be very sports medicine oriented, where the occupational therapists, that's working out really well because they're really focusing on occupational injuries, which is one of the major diagnoses that we treat. We have a great case management team. It doesn't matter how good we are clinically getting patients well if we can't do their paperwork, but we can because we've got 5 staff doing case management, 4 to 5, depending on what's needed. Full time, we just had a case manager meeting where we were going over a couple tough patients, and it's really exciting with that think tank to overcome the challenges. But the nice thing is, like you've taught us all along, there is rules, there are requirements, and if you play by the rules and you know them and you know the requirements, you could win. And I think that's true for what we've done, and that's been our success. So that's our team. I may have forgotten, we have massage therapists.
That's right, massage.
We have some new, very progressive tools we use, like shockwave and cupping and taping and certain special injections we do. That I think that combined effort, it's not just therapy, it's not just injections or pills. We have a combined effort of medicine, therapy, chiropractic, and massage that addresses the whole body. Because nobody's just a slip disc or nobody's just a bad muscle. It usually, more times than not, incorporates different tissues that require a different specialist.
And you have a beautiful facility too. A lot of doctors' offices you go to, I would be embarrassed to go into some offices, but I'm so happy to be in yours. It's just beautiful, and it's wide open space, and it's so well lit because you got the big window out front. I've always liked that. That just feels like wide open. And you talk about winning. You've done a lot of winning. You were telling me you've had over how many claims accepted so far?
Around 300, maybe around that.
That's an amazing number. And so if you're a federal employee listening to this, and maybe you're not hurt yet, or maybe you know somebody who is, or you've just rubbed some dirt on it and hoping it'll get better, just know that it's probably, you're going to lose really bad in OWCP if you go anyplace else. Mm-hmm. And so if you're in Chicago, this is where you go. And I couldn't imagine going someplace else to lose?
Thank you, Chris. That's coming from you. That means a lot. Thank you.
So how do people reach you?
We are the Federal Injury Centers of Chicago, or Peak Performance Healthcare. That's our dual brand. We're number 1 in all the search engines because we've just had great reviews. We have a 4.8 star review on Google Maps. So awesome. We're pretty easy to find, I think, because we rank high. If you just put injured postal worker or injured federal worker, we're number 1 on the search engines. Good. So we're pretty easy to find. We're right by the Lincoln Park Zoo, which is a major landmark here, but we're in downtown Chicago, and we have parking, and we really treat everybody like family rather than a number. Yeah. And which is so common in healthcare these days. We really want to hold on to that.
All right. Thanks so much for being on the podcast.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. That's another episode of the Breaking OWCP Podcast. Come back for more and tell your friends.